What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video we have a flanker to the ever so popular top-selling fragrance from the pretty popular indie niche house known as City Rhythm Fragrance. This is Miami Tropical Confessions. So at the release of this video, it's going to be available for pre-order. You'll be able to get samples, travel atomizers, 50 mLs, and I believe 100 mLs. This is a 50 ml. So Niles did send this out to me, complimentary, and I decided I wanted to do a review on it. Obviously, whatever the hell I think is whatever the hell I think. But I gotta tell you, I'm digging this one more than Tropical Seduction. Spoiler alert. So stay tuned. So quick look at the presentations. Here you have City Rhythm in gold metallics, made in the USA, distributed by City Rhythm LLC. Nothing around there. You do have the wax seal, and it is a magnetic flip side. There you go. Nice pillowed foam that the bottle sits in. Moniker for City Rhythm. And then it's just a box. In regards to the bottle, big fan of these bottles. The atomizers have been upgraded from previous versions as well. This is a high gloss metal plaque. It's stuck onto the bottom. Love this kind of rocks mountain type of look on the bottom of the bottle. You have City Rhythm Fragrance on top of the caps. So caps don't hold super well into place. I wouldn't recommend grabbing it by that, but it is a decent quality. This cap has this faux wood type of plastic to it on the outside, a little bit of metal fill with this gold coating, and then atomizer puts out quite a bit. It's gorgeous, but the atomizer, as you saw, pressure sensitive, pressurized, however you want to look at it. Beautiful atomizer, but we need to talk about this scent. So I have the notes on screen for you guys. You will relate it to Miami Tropical Seduction, but here it's not as citrusy and sea breeze-esque, more aquatic, I guess you could say, as Tropical Seduction. So with that one, it's more earthy florals. Here it's creamy florals. You still have the DNA, the lime and the rum and so on, but this one, the most simplistic way I can describe this one, it's mainly about accords. This one opens with a soft citrus tone with this coconut milk just kind of creating this creaminess. There's a hibiscus nectar. Nectar is an interesting word because it comes across very creamy, thick, tropical, without being too fruity. So that coconut milk is kind of the star of the show here. Like I said, it makes the citrus on the softer side. It's not super mouth-watering. As it starts to settle, that booziness comes in a little bit to warm it up slightly, and it creates kind of this warm fruitiness to the way the lime comes across. The lime rum combo creates, plus all this creaminess going on, creates this warm fruitiness, and the florals here are nice and thick. Now, that could be just a contribution to the coconut milk that's pretty dominant early on in this fragrance. But it goes from a soft citrus creamy coconut milk to a warm fruity creamy floral with a light boozy undertone. It's not a hefty dose of rum. There's much more rum in the original Tropical Seduction. Tropical Confessions, it's a much more creamy fragrance. Then as it settles down, there's more sweetness and cream here, vanilla orchid, musk, things like that. The myrrh here, I think, is the most interesting thing because it kind of goes hand in hand with the vanilla orchid because you still have this creamy sweet floral tone as it dries, but the myrrh, like, it doesn't distinctively stand out as myrrh. Normally when it's in a fragrance, it'll stand out at some point. Here, I think it provides additional support for the vanillic sweetness that the deeper dry down of this fragrance has. So, and there's sandalwood as well. So just this creaminess across the board. If you like creamy fragrances, this is a creamy tropical fragrance through and through. I think I'm even going to put that in the thumbnail. Might put in the title, something about it being creamy, because I'm surprised it's creamy, but not boring creamy, not dominated by sandalwood type of creamy. It's different stages and types of creaminess. It's literally 3-staged. Soft citrus, creamy coconut milk at the top. Warm, fruity, creamy floral in the heart. And then creamy, vanillic, woody floral in the base. It's creamy at every stage, but a different type of creamy. It's really strange, I think, is the best word for how it was composed, but delightfully strange. Big fan of this one. I like this way more than Miami. Way more than San Diego. This is, I'm not going to call this a freshie, because it's not a freshie, because it's so creamy and thick, but it still maintains enough of this tropical vibe that I would still think this to be a summertime fragrance. Maybe not in the highest of heat with no clouds and just screaming humidity. Maybe not the best choice. Cooler evenings going into the nighttime, sure. Springtime, day and night for sure. Fall, day and night. If you like tropical style fragrances or anything about creaminess kind of appeals to you, not just a generic creamy wood sandalwood dominance, because that is here, but it is not the star of the creamy show, I guess you could say. This stuff is gorgeous. This is absolutely sample worthy. Not necessarily blind buy safe if you're not sure about a dominantly creamy fragrance, but if you're a fan of anything that I mentioned about the scent profile, then it's probably blind buy safe for you. But I would still encourage you to sample it, try it out first before committing to a full bottle, because it's not like it's some cheap fragrance for $30. You're going to spend your money. It is original, independent, niche, high quality. So you're going to get what you paid for, but at the same time, you want to make sure it's for you. But for me, this is immediate top 3 from the house. I still think New Orleans to be my favorite. Maybe it's a bias for being from South Louisiana. It's like my favorite boozy fragrance in my collection at this point. And this might be number 2. It's up there with 2654 and New Orleans for me. This is definitely into the top 3. I'm not 100% sure which takes second, which takes third, but just know this is one of the immediate highlights of the house for the scent alone. Now, in regards to performance, 50% oil concentration, longevity, ridiculous. I have 4 sprays around my neck. I did 4 sprays around my neck yesterday. I've worn it 2 days in a row. I've did several test sprays over the last 2 weeks. I've had the bottle for a little while. Niles was gracious enough to send it to me early so I could spend some time with it to bring this review to you guys. And if you're looking for a monster, here you go. It's a rich, dense sillage. Projection, not overwhelming. It doesn't scream off of the skin. I would say it's like a moderate projection. But the sillage on here is on the moderate to heavy side. It's a thick cloud. It's not a gigantic cloud. It's a decent like bubble around me. But it's thick. It lingers. It's a heavy sillage. Moderate to heavy, I think, is the range I would put it. So it lingers. It stays in a room long after you walk by. If someone's downwind from you, they're going to get a nice hefty dose of this aroma. Hit them in the face. It's not crazy, obnoxious where it's going to punch him in the nose like that, but the strength is there without being overbearing. So performance across the board, I would sit here and call it a beast in some categories. While not a beast projector, it's beast 12 plus hours, beast longevity, and very beastly sillage after projection calms down, which you can never really tell how much the projections actually calm down because there really isn't much of a difference from the first 2 or 3 hours of the fragrance in strength to 10 hours into the fragrance's strength. It just keeps going. It's a very, very consistently thick and strong aroma surrounding you, and it's really long lasting. Final thoughts on City Rhythm Miami Tropical Confessions, the flanker to Miami Tropical Seduction. I think this is a superior fragrance. Now, this is a taste thing. This is a personal opinion. There's going to be people that are still going to prefer Miami Tropical Seduction. It is the #1 seller from the house for a reason. But for my taste, and I think the overall uniqueness of this fragrance, it's better for me. I like this better than Miami Tropical Seduction and San Diego Pacific Sunset individually. I still think when it comes to the freshness, the blend of the two in 2654 is still superior. If I want fresh, I'm going to go with that. If I want evening, I'm going to go with New Orleans. If I want just playful and fun no matter when, this is the one. This is the one. I think this is a great fragrance at an 8.5 out of 10. I think this was excellently composed. The performance is never an issue when it comes to City Rhythm. It's ridiculously high, almost too high oil concentrations because you're going to have a thick oil sheen on your skin for a long time. If you're kind of weary of stuff like that, be warned, this is a high oil concentration. You will have a thick oil sheen for hours on your skin, but just know that that creates that immense longevity and crazy good sillage. So once again, thank you so much, Niles, for sending this my way. It was my honor and privilege to be one of the first to review this. Big fan of this one. Like those of you that follow me, it's rare that I wear a fragrance back-to-back days. I'm just vibing with this one. This is good stuff. It's going to sit on the rotation table because we're moving into warmer weather. I'm in the heart of spring, beginning stages of spring, really, here in Colorado Springs. going into summer, and this is going to be working great in the fall. I think this is a really good 3-season fragrance, to be completely honest with you. Day or night, even though the marketing and advertising is gearing towards the evening, I think as long as it's not super high humidity like heat index at 115, I think this is fine during the day as well. It's just a beautiful offering. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you are interested in checking this one out? I'll have a link down below with a 7% off code, so whenever the pre-order starts, you can save yourself a few bucks on getting a sample, or if you want to commit to a bottle or travel atomizer, whichever route you choose. It's definitely worth getting a sample and getting your nose on, though, if anything I said here today interests you. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on City Rhythm Miami Tropical Confessions, give it a spray now. Pretty confident you'll thank me later. If you have similar taste to me, you'll definitely thank me later. Have a good one, guys.